item under the relevant rules of procedure and conduct of business as a short duration discussion. And would like to also thank you profusely for giving an opportunity for me to be part of these deliberations. I would like to submit before you, Mr. Speaker, sir, that maybe given a little time so that I can dwell upon some important areas of concern that's confronting the state, that's confronting the people. I would like to make it abundantly clear that I will be dwelling with a complete sincere intention to draw the attention of the government and for urging the government for course correction, the larger interests of the people and the state as a whole. It is not going to be a blame game, but it will be definitely directed towards that sincere intent. So I would like to urge upon the government of the day under the leadership of the incumbent Chief Minister to take cognizance of the concerns. Many members have already placed things in an appropriate manner, and I'm happy to see that there were more of a suggestion more than allegation. So I think that is a healthy way of bringing issues before the notice of the government. And before I dwell on a few important issues which I would like to flag before the government, my attention has been drawn to the reference of the 30th September instance in Garo Hills. I think it is very important for the August House also to understand what was the background and how it culminated and why we should not use that as a means to point a finger at the government of the past. Now we understand that ambush issue was an issue which attracted huge debate and deliberations across the people who felt it was necessary. And those deliberations and discussions revolved around with an intent for ensuring that the government take cognizance of them and get it corrected. So that is exactly what has happened. Today, the people of the state has the record in our hand that the ambush, after whatever measures were taken collectively with the involvement of the members of this August House, stand much more vibrant, competent. In spite of the instances that ultimately used to confront the ambush prior to that, and that unfortunate incident happened, what did I do? I was the Deputy CM in charge. I took cognizance of the sentiments of the people. I stood firm and tried to demonstrate my sincere solidarity with the people and resign. That's how we take people into confidence. Have people condemned me? Thrown me out of the political circulation after that? No. That was 2005. So I would like to reiterate that yes, something happened that time. For whatever reasons, actions were taken against the concerned officers. If the minister in charge, the then Deputy Chief Minister in charge, it was myself. I demonstrated solidarity, respected the sentiment of the people of the state. So please don't repeat this one in this August House. Frankly speaking, we have put an end to this controversy because of a legislative exercise which was embarked upon by the government of that time. Because the first time when Ambush Act was enacted in this August House, the headquarter of the ambush was not indicated in the Principal Act. I remind that the headquarter of Meghalaya Board of School Education was not indicated in the Principal Act. It was during my time that, just to put an end to this controversy, we put as to where the headquarter of the Meghalaya Board of School Education shall be, and we did it. And today you see the amended act that the headquarter of Meghalaya Board of School Education will be at Tura. That's why we are able to today put an end to this usual pulls and pushes for this one small institution which was established in Tura. So, Mr. Speaker, sir, I just referred because I had to have some responsibility to share this, to have a clarity. Now, Mr. Speaker, sir, I would like to only seek the indulgence of the government for course correction on few things. One is that, look at the precarious fiscal health of the state. And in addition to that, please, I think it is important for all of us to remember that the FRBM Act has also been amended to facilitate government to borrow more, increase the fiscal deficit level. Therefore, you have the luxury of borrowing more. But it doesn't mean that borrowing more and then funding programs is going to help us to really take cognizance of where our fiscal health is and to have, very conscious and judicious way of spending and embarking upon initiatives in as far as spending of the public money is concerned. Therefore, I would like to refer to one instance when the state was confronted by a very serious situation after the NGT ban on the prevailing manner of coal mining, which was considered as unregulated and not scientific, and not in conformity with various statutory laws in 2014. What happened? 2014-15, our GSDP drastically fell to 1.2. Can you imagine? That was the situation, which was reversed. If I'm correct, it was 1.2 or 1.6. Look at the vibrant capability of this beautiful state. We recovered from the following year immediately. So therefore, I think the potentiality that we have as a state is tremendous. We are capable of recovering from any stress. That is the strength with which we are vested with this responsibility to take care of the state. But in spite of that, what has happened is that the number of initiatives, there is a failure of the government to take cognizance of these very important initiatives and complete them. What happened to Medical College, Shillong and Tura? Why is it in standstill? Today, how many of our young boys and girls are ready to become doctors? How are we depriving by delaying and delaying? Please take cognizance of this. Please complete it. This is something which we dedicated for our people who are committed to join this profession and serve our people. How many of our young men and women will become professionals and be teachers and create a vibrant environment for the ultimate future growth? What happened to the State Technical University, which was established through enactment of law by this August House, with a headquarters in Tura? Look at how people were so sentimental even in respect of the narrative which was circulated amongst the people indicating that Ambo's headquarters was being shifted or there was a move for bifurcation. Only the hearsay. Because I want to again put on record, when the then government was there in 2008 and 9, with our late Dr. Dolkubar Roy as the Chief Minister, I put an unstarred question here in this August House. Whether there was, at any point of time, a move by the government to bifurcate the Meghalaya Board of School Education. The categorical reply in unstarred question was, no, sir. So, friends, that's why the stand is very clear. Sometimes, yes, that's why there is a collective need for ensuring that misinformations are avoided as much as possible. Today we are talking about the State Technical University. We have the NEHU. What is the status of NEHU? Are we proud of that NEHU? But Technical University, legislated by our own house, is our own baby. You can have your own VC. We have appointed a VC. We wanted to ensure that it starts functioning. Please take cognizance of this and see that it is functional. I am urging on behalf of the people of the state. Your and our generation next will be teachers there. I think they will find pride to become professors, HODs, vice chancellors. And we don't have to beg government of India, oh, please don't post this man as a VC, we don't accept. At least that will be our own. And what happened to the College of Architecture and Urban Planning? What happened to the engineering college that was sanctioned under RUSA, RUSA? Why are they in standstill? Aren't they the assets created for our state to make our state vibrant destination of education and stop the flight of capital by forcing our children to go outside and pursue their higher education? These are initiatives with the vision that we share along with the people and particularly the vision of our younger generation. With a young man occupying the office of the Chief Minister, I firmly believe that he will understand and take cognizance of these delayed programs. What happened to the Engineering College of Ampati? What is happening to the College of Commerce and Science that was funded with an idea of ensuring that the educational institutions spread beyond the state capital and our district capital? What happens when all the children have to converge to Shillong to pursue their degree courses? You choke the traffic jam. You create a standstill of traffic movement and add on to pollution. Friends, Mr. Speaker, sir, I think government should take cognizance of. That's why we are saying failures. Please take cognizance. You may have number of initiatives, but the continuity of the initiatives, which is going to create a turnaround in all different sectors, are crucial for the government to take cognizance of and pursue them appropriately. Then, another thing that we achieved, restoration of peace. How difficult it was. I remember every time, every day, I used to be questioned and confronted by our civil society organizations. Can you restore peace? Can you restore peace? Can you restore peace? We did. Look at the western part. Every individual who joined various militant outfits returned. Every individual. Not even one was left. Not even one. We call it in Garo, Samna Bolna. Not even for Samna Bolna was left. Everybody returned. What is happening? I have been urging the government, please have a State Security Commission meeting. Yesterday, on the sidelines of one of the meetings, which was chaired by the Chief Minister in order to decide upon the CIC, I have again reminded, please have this meeting. That is the forum where this leader of the opposition, who had the privilege of dealing with this real complexity of problem of dealing with militancy, insurgency, and restoration of peace, can share my whatever experiences I have in a humble way, in the larger good, larger interest of the state. It is not a forum where I will be speaking something else. It is a forum where I'll be sharing my experiences, the inputs, which is so crucial and important for our people. Now look at how we handle people who are convinced to give up their association with all those proscribed organizations and take the bold decision to come over ground and join the national mainstream. What is the mechanism? You have a check and balance between the home police, then the political department, and create an enabling environment to create a confidence for these friends who have somehow, for whatever reasons, decided to be part of those teams who wage war against the state. They have come back. What is the mechanism? Follow up so that they don't slip back. If there is an indication that these members, after having joined the national mainstream, are having the tendency to engage in some unlawful activities, you activate the system immediately. There is a system which is available with the government, and that is what should be done. And those are the things which we discuss in State Security Commission meeting. So these are areas, since we need to collectively look at our responsibilities. If the state sings, we all sing. What is going to happen if the whole restoration of peace that we have achieved slip back and we are back to square one? I think it will be a very painful experience for our generation next. Therefore, let us not have complacency. Okay, you are taking up some beautiful roads, taking up some important developmental programs. You know what was the situation? The contractor didn't have the courage to go and take up works. That was the situation when I was the Chief Minister. Today, peaceful environment. The work which cannot be completed in 3 years because of the law and order problem, because of insurgency, because of militancy, can be completed in 18 months. How much time did we take to complete this Shillong bypass? That was the fastest ever road project completed in the whole Northeast of this size. I took pride. I told the Honorable Prime Minister, how much time did we take to complete this Shillong, Nongstoy and Johai road, in spite of the militancy which inflicted the western part of the state? In 2012, and part 2013 during election, I was already driving across this road, beautiful road, more than 100 kilometers speed. Honorable Speaker himself had the privilege of driving the same road. Even before 2013, how many years did we took? But friends, in certain areas, in certain pockets, where there are very difficult way of putting the secured environment for the builders and contractors, we couldn't do it. Therefore, though we signed an agreement with the World Bank to fund the PMGSY, contractors did not come. One contractors were burdened with 6, 7, 8 works. Some of the contractors from Khasi's have to be convinced to take works in Garo Hills. So difficult. But today things are better. You can do better. We have handed over a very peaceful state. There was no more militancy. Not even one member in western part. Even the eastern part has been under control. But one thing is very clear. Please handle with care when we are dealing with members who have agreed to join the national mainstream. Dealing of whatever way, the whole thing should not be said here. I think I will speak it in the Security Commission meeting if the Chief Minister is pleased to call it immediately. Please don't deal with people whom we convince to come because of the trust and confidence on what we say and what we promise. If we are found to have failed in our promise, it will deter others from believing us. It will have its own ramification for the future. Another one is that the whole issue of the revenue. Why are you not taking cognizance of what we have been saying? It is not to point a finger, but it is because everybody sees that the state is losing and losing and losing. Yes. There are so many things. Even this, the ordinance which was promulgated prior to the act itself, Meghalaya Settlement of Areas Under State Taxation Act, Ordinance 2020. I would like to urge the government to repeal this act. This is because of a valid reason to protect the interests of the state. Because any tax that has been collected by any dealer, which has been collected on behalf of the government from the consumers, cannot be retained by the dealers. And there is a Supreme Court ruling saying that that kind of exercise amounts to enrichment of few, and that is illegal. Therefore, even without having to force anybody to go to seek judicial intervention, I think it is only appropriate and prudent for the government to take cognizance of what I have submitted. I will send a letter addressed to the Honorable Chief Minister to take a look at this and see, yes, if this is something which is completely inconsistent, not inconsistent with the law of the land, because the pronouncement of the judgment of the Honorable Supreme Court has not been overruled by any other judgment. So therefore, it becomes a law. So I think rather than dwelling on this, but I will send a letter. And another one, MB Act 2019, September. Then there is a notification by Government of Meghalaya also. I have written a letter to the Chief Secretary to address this concern and for non-compliance of the notification by various authorities. Who will take action against those authorities, the officers, who are not implementing or enforcing this notification? I'm afraid they will all go to jail. Once we start demanding action, legal action, these are law enacted by Parliament and appropriately adopted and notified by government. Look at this notification. I would like to refer to the notification of the state government itself. TPT, that is Transport 101/2010, Part 1, 247, 16, 9, 19. And there is another notification again. I think that was on 25th. So these are notifications which should be enforced. These are to create a deterrence of all the illegalities that is taking place across the roads, across the highways, across the state highways. I think everyone is seeing it. There is a narrative circulating. It is shameful to us. I'm afraid I may have to say I quit politics because I don't want to be painted with the same brush. People are looking at all the politicians as belonging to the same class, birds of same feather flock together. I'm afraid if we don't correct things and change the perception that is prevailing, that is circulating, people who mean business and who mean to serve the people will probably be discouraged from joining politics. I'm afraid. Therefore, we must encourage our young ones to study more on social studies, on political science, on history, and join politics, and be the best politicians to determine the future of our state and future of our generations. Therefore, we must be people who must be able to lead by example. Yes, we have pulls and pushes while we run our political parties, but that should not be the reason for us to compromise and dilute our position in the eyes of people. Therefore, Mr. Speaker, sir, I urge upon government to take cognizance of any small irregularities, even the schemes which are being implemented under central sponsor scheme, Jal Jeevan Yojana. Yesterday there was a information received in one place called Munabari. The villagers stopped the work because the way the work was being done was not inconsistent with the resolution and decision adopted by the villagers. Because the guideline speaks about that. The schemes have to be formulated based on the need felt by the villagers. So these are areas of concern. Please take cognizance and please ensure that the Honorable Supreme Court's order of 3rd July 2019 is enforced immediately. The coal, as per the inventory which has been submitted before the Honorable NGT and Honorable Supreme Court, prior to that judgment, declaring around 32 plus metric ton of coal need to be auctioned. There is an auctioning of these in piecemeal, in 1,000 metric tons. What does it indicate? I have said that those claimed coal of 32 metric ton, 32 lakh metric ton is already missing. It's not there in the coal-bearing district. So please take cognizance of this and verify. If the Chief Minister so desires, I will accompany him. Let us go and take action against the officers who have allowed this to happen.
Please.
Because that protects the interests of the state. This is relating to the huge disappearance of wealth which also generates revenue for the state. Therefore, Mr. Speaker, sir, I think these are important areas where there is a palpable deficiencies, visible failures. Please take cognizance of them and a sincere attempt to correct. I want to point out just by reminding only one more important program. Please take advantage of huge amount of fund which has been approved by the Ministry of Finance, agreed by the financial institutions, international financial institutions, Japan International Cooperation Agency for the National Highways, expedite them. World Bank program for Meghalaya Integrated Transport Program. It goes beyond road. With the author of that program, that's why I'm sharing it. What was the target given? By 2019, 31st December, the state government was required to spend minimum target of 1,000 crore. Till now, how much money has been spent? These are delay because of whatever reasons. These are equivalent to failure to judiciously use the money which is available to take care of all our dilapidated roads. That Damra, Mendipathar, Resu road, all these AMPT road and many other roads. Therefore, please expedite these works and get an opportunity to efficiently utilize them for the larger good. I hope the government will take cognizance of these issues. Many more other issues we can always be available for the government to discuss even outside the House if called for. And we have done it on many counts which was initiated by the Honorable Speaker, but for many other issues, we are one call away for the larger good of the people. This short duration motion and discussion, I'm sure, will enable the state government to take cognizance of all those concerns and go forward with the whole commitment to do whatever is needed to correct things and be honest to our purpose and fulfill our purpose. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you. Thank you.